It's about hiding. And let me explain. So, to give a little bit of context, I have a friend, a dear friend, and with her I share a lot. We are oftentimes not in the same place, and then we have this thing which we call the talking stick. And in a way, we pick up, one of us will pick up the talking stick and talk in a voice message for however long feels right in that moment. And it's a nice format somehow. A talking stick, of course, inspired by like native Indian traditions, or I guess many cultures would have some sort of object that they pick up when they speak, and everybody will listen until they're done speaking and put it back down. So there's not this ping pong, and people can really take a break also in their sharing and get the thoughts organized a little bit and come back to it, and won't be interrupted. And since the voice message you kind of can't interrupt, it has this quality also. And it's been a beautiful journey over 2 years, sending many voice messages, and sometimes for special occasions there have been videos also. And then now I come back to the hiding in the beginning. I was thinking about, because I also make YouTube videos, obviously, somehow, sometimes, and not much lately, but I'm kind of playing with the idea to start picking that up again. And it's also daring to make a YouTube video. And depending on the content, it's more or less daring maybe. But I mean, on my channel I've made videos talking about porn addiction and my inflammable bowel syndrome disease that I used to struggle with. And so I've really shown also vulnerable places somehow. And still, for sure, all those times when I shared things like this, it was also like a step to publish a video, and took some courage. So it's not like you or I conquer this daring once and then it's not an issue anymore. In a way, every video is a little challenge, and it gets less, but then depending on the content, it changes also. For example, if I show a permaculture project, I'm not really putting myself too much in the fire. Like, it's permaculture obviously is super awesome, and I don't know any person who disagrees with treating our mother nature more nice way and grow healthy food. So there I'm not really putting much on the line. But if I share other things, and now like I do with the talking stick with my partner or my friend, these videos I wouldn't just publish. Or I was thinking about why actually not, what's in the way. And it's about hiding. It's really vulnerable places that we all have, and that we need the trust to share with only very few selected people that are close to us, maybe. At least this is how I grew up, and I think most people, like the culture we grow up in the Western world, has us create some barrier there. And actually I'm conquering that barrier, like the projects and places and circles I move in. It's very much also in many of those places the invitation to show ourselves more, and the understanding that seeing is loving in a way. It's a very short line here. But yeah, that the more I dare to show myself, that when truth is spoken, um, there's resonance from people who witness, and it creates trust. To if somebody else does that step, then I'm more likely to do the same, and then very special energy is created, and that's the beauty also that. Well, that's another story. But yeah, for me not to share the videos that I would send to her on my Facebook channel, it's about hiding, and I think it's time to stop hiding in a way. I think I would like to not have that barrier actually, and just feel good and take off the mask and show myself this is actually who I am, and this is reminds me of Tamera actually, where I spent a lot of time in the last couple of years, and that there, when I mean probably most people who watch my videos have seen also some of my Tamera videos, or at least the most watched video is the film about Tamera, and one of the women who's interviewed in the film, Vera, she describes this. I have to think of it now, and she's saying that if I don't really show myself, and then people like me, they don't actually like me, they like that role I'm playing, or that image I've created of myself. But that we all hurt when we did show ourselves. We got hurt and traumatized in our childhood or whenever. So we stopped doing that, and we just show something that we're actually not. So when people don't like it, we can they don't dislike who I'm actually. They dislike this image that I've created and shown, and that's okay. But also we don't really allow them to love ourselves, who we truly are. And for that to happen, we have to really show who we are. And I want to do that. This is the contact that happens, the quality of experience, I don't want to miss anymore. And so it's almost like a egoistic motivation to make more videos, show more what I actually perceive, what I think, and also do that. That's one side of it. And the other side is that I am told time and time again, and actually I also can see that I have a message or something. I'm bringing back something. I was gone for 5 years. I've been traveling and exploring the edges of society where people are researching and experimenting with different ways of living and creating culture that is not exploiting the planet, and integrating what I shared about now, and like encouraging people to show themselves and take off the masks and be true to ourselves and with each other. And that I've been going for that somehow for 5 years or maybe more, and it's a special time also to hold this kind of information. And I mean, everywhere I go, and now that I'm back in Europe, let's say, I speak to people, and not so many people have such a hopeful outlook, and are so excited about the future, what will follow for us together. And I actually do. I think it's amazing, and I think we will a lot of beauty will unfold, and we will enter a new like switch reality somehow, like, or it's like the end of a era where, I don't know, for when did it happen the last time, I don't even know, but like the Roman Empire or something huge for many hundreds of years, a certain culture was there and people were operating in that and not questioning it at some point anymore, but also this had to go at some point, and it's an evolutionary process. And so this is the how big of a shift I anticipate, that we will take an evolutionary step as human beings, like and grow up to from being super identified with this one body that we have and our egoic mindset, to transcend that somehow, or like reach a new level of understanding where we are one big organism, and our planet is not just a rock, but a living being, and we are part of that being, and our role is very different to the one that we've been playing in the last at least century, but many centuries, can go probably back a long time. And maybe, yeah, since it's evolution, like maybe never before we were at this level of evolution, and it's a moment to leap into a new one, and it's fascinating and very I mean, as I said, there are many people that don't have this, but I'm very much moving also in circles where people are coming together with this understanding somehow, and I don't feel alone with this at all. There's many places, very, very different circles of people also, that land in a kind of shared truth from super different angles, and just come together there. And I like peek in all these different places, and I'm just like, yeah, that's where I land also, and it's amazing and it's beautiful. And now we can hope and shine our light and be public with it, or like step up and support each other, and also for those who are not at that place yet, because to get there can be some work also, and it's a lot about letting go. I'm actually in my own process with that, and also that's a different story, but letting go is a big part to move beyond the identification, because it's well, I don't want to make a too long video, but to come back to the beginning, it's about hiding and dropping that and facing that fear, conquering that fear. It's my edge at the moment. It's why I make the video. It's why I like it's about fear of being judged, or being too much, or being something that such a basic fear that we all carry, I think. Yes. Okay, I will leave it at that for today, and leave a comment if you have resonance, or if you have a question, or also if you want to share another thought. And then I guess with this video, it's also a big moment of a big beginning, or like, now it's time for me to integrate that and see what wants to come through. Thank you.